The following is an exclusive presentation of Jesup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
World famous. The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO, 105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good.
You doing good? All right. Well, we got guests in here this morning. We've got Rachel Altry and Kelly Shakelin in this morning. They're from CASA. Did I pronounce it right?
Yes, you did.
Okay, CASA. And Rachel, why don't you tell folks who might not know what CASA is, what kind of organization this is?
Okay. CASA stands for CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates. They are a group of specially trained volunteers that work with foster children in court proceedings. So their job is twofold. They make a personal connection with the child and make sure the child is doing well and as a voice for the child in the court. And also they monitor case progression and talk to all the court participants to make sure that the child is receiving what they need and that the things go on timely.
And what kind of issues do they deal with?
They are
to the children?
Appointed to foster children, and foster children come into care for a variety of reasons: child abuse, neglect, substance abuse from the parents. You know, we see everything.
So they represent basically the children that are involved in foster care. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay, to make sure everything's being done correctly. If there's any problems, they can handle the adult end of it, right?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Kelly Shakelin's in here. Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning.
All right. What's your involvement with CASA?
I am a volunteer with CASA Glenn. So my husband and I have a case that we work together. And we've been doing it for about 3 years now.
So what got you involved to being a volunteer with CASA with helping these foster children out?
Well, I was interested in volunteering my personal time outside of work, and I really wanted something that both my husband and I could do together. And it just so happened that I saw a CASA ad and came across Rachel, so in more than one occasion. So I think it was just divine intervention that I ended up with CASA. So, I'm just not strong enough to be a foster parent, God bless those people, but it allows me to still be involved and to help children find a secure, loving home to live in.
You must find the help rewarding for helping these kids out because you and your husband are doing it for 3 years now.
Yes, yes, it is rewarding at times, difficult, but very rewarding nonetheless.
Okay. Now, Rachel requested the time to come on this morning. What would you like the public to know about?
Well, CASA has been around in this area since, I was about to say the late 1900s, but it is true. About 98, excuse me. And it was Tri-County CASA in Appleton, Wayne, and Jeff Davis.
Right, it was Tri-County.
And now we are CASA Glenn. They adopted us, so we are 5 counties, Glenn, Camden, Appleton, Wayne, and Jeff Davis, the entire Brunswick Judicial Circuit. And we have lots of volunteers and need so many more to help the foster children. We would like 100% coverage. We're not there yet, but that's what we're working on. And so we're always looking for more people, and we have a website and a phone call. I'm happy to speak to anybody or any group about what it is that we do. And, CASA's spend about, 5-6 hours a month, maybe, around that time?
Maybe.
What would you say?
It depends on where you are in your case.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning of a case, it's going to take a lot more time to kind of reach out to everyone you need to speak to, but then as the cases kind of go along, it's a little bit less.
A little bit less, and it's flexible.
About 5 or 6 hours a month, then. Okay.
Yes,
somewhere along there, the average on the volunteer time. Mm-hmm. And so how do people get in contact with you, Rachel, if they just want to inquire about how to be a volunteer with CASA to help represent these and help these children if they're having to go through a situation in the courts?
They can contact us directly at 912-264-4448. You can go on our website, which is CASAGlenn.org.
That's CASA. CASAGlenn.
CASAGlenn.
CASAGlenn what now?
.org. .org.
Okay.
And you can find me on Facebook, find us on Facebook, and just reach out and it's not a hard sell because it's got to be something that is in your heart that you would like to do,
right.
and have time for, but you don't need any special requirements, just a love and wanting to help children. You have to be 21 years of age and up. We do a background check, and we have 5 weeks of training, and then you're good to go.
Okay. Now, if you having these volunteers with CASA representing and helping and supporting, in a sense, their needs there with these foster children, are you finding, you got these foster parents out there that are stepping forward and being foster parents for these children, but, what kind of issues come up where your volunteers have to help these children out through a court system?
Well, there's several different type of scenarios. We've had one, CASA was working with the child, and of course, as you develop a personal relationship with the child and where they are, you get to know their needs, and found out that the foster home they were currently in was not a good fit for them, and so they were moved. We've had Kelly, help me out. Can you the CASA volunteer helps the progression of the case, and since they are looking from the outside in and they're monitoring, they can also see if the child needs any tutoring at school, maybe their medical needs aren't quite being met. There's a lot of aspects to taking care of a child, just clothing and housing.
Are these foster children, are they automatically assigned a volunteer, or they have this CASA volunteer just kind of monitoring the situation, or is it only when a problem comes up?
Well, like in the name, it's court appointed. The juvenile court judge appoints a CASA to a case, and so they are bound by law to monitor the case and to make a personal relationship with the child.
So does a problem have to come forward first, or does every foster child have someone that helps them?
Well, being a foster child itself is a vulnerable position, and so the court judges would like us to be able to cover as much as possible because they depend on a CASA to be the eyes and ears.
So they may not
the
be a problem. It's just that you got somebody there to help them if there is. Is that correct?
Yes.
So the child, I guess, has to step forward to the CASA volunteer and say, hey, this is going on, and then does the volunteer talk to the foster parents to see what's going on?
It depends on the situation.
Okay.
They see a problem, they talk with me, and then we make sure that we take care of it.
Okay, so just watch it after the children.
Yes.
Okay. Make sure everything's just going okay. But you're looking for volunteers to step forward and say, I would like to be a CASA volunteer and help these foster children out. And you can do that by calling Rachel there at 912-264-4448, or go to their website, which is CASA, C-A-S-A, Glen.org. CASA Glen, after Glen County.org.
That's right.
And you get volunteers in all the counties that y'all represent?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We have men, women, different ages 21 to 76, couples. We have lawyers, nurses, homemakers, just everybody. A good mix.
Folks with big hearts, like Kelly and her husband, that want to step forward and say, hey, I'd like to help these children out, do something good for these kids. And make sure they're being taken care of. Correct?
Exactly.
That's right. We're not, neither my husband and I, or professionally qualified for such a thing. But what does make us qualified is that his experience was different than my experience. So I had an experience where we had addiction in my home, but my husband did not. So between the two of us, we're both like to see children in a safe and loving environment, whether that is in their biological home or in a different home. But, we are an interested third party. We don't represent the court. We don't represent an attorney. We don't represent a biological parent, a foster parent. We represent the children only.
Did y'all ever see the movie Joe Dirt?
Yes.
He needed a CASA.
Yes, he did. He did some intervention.
He needed a CASA volunteer, did he?
He did. He certainly needed some help.
Yes, he did.
All right. Well, volunteer folks, if you have the desire to find out more information about it, that's all you got to do. It's not like you're stepping forward and say, I want to do it. All you got to do is just step forward and request information on it by going to CASAGlen.org, CASAGlen.org. All the information is right there, and you can learn how to be a volunteer. And as you can see, Kelly Shankland and her husband doing it for 3 years, and it's rewarding for them, and especially rewarding for those foster children. All right, Bob, any questions or comments for our guest this morning?
Sounds like a good organization.
Yep.
Thanks, sir.
Been around for quite a while. All right. It makes you feel old when you say, yeah, we've been around since the last century, 1998. Makes you feel old when you say that, Yeah, that's what I tell my grandkids. I was born in the mid of last century. Yep, I was born in 54. I was born in 50. Well, how old was that?
They had electricity back then. Yeah.
All right. Well, y'all have a good day. And any way that we can help CASA out, y'all just come right back on or give us information on it, and we're glad to put it on the air for you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO. We'll be back with more world famous Butch and Bob show in a moment.
South Georgia weather.
Here's your WIFO forecast. Mostly sunny, east breeze, highs mid-80s for today. Partly cloudy, mid-60s for tonight. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, just a slight chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms, highs low 80s. Then Friday, sunshine, highs low 80s. Saturday, mostly sunny, highs low 80s. Sunday, sunshine, highs mid-80s. Monday, slight chance of afternoon showers. Georgia Chief Meteorologist John Weatherby in the GNN Weather Center.
When further treatment is no longer an option, hospice can provide services to manage symptoms and difficulties caused by illness. Emotional, psychosocial, and spiritual care, as well as support to the families and caregivers, are all part of hospice care. Hospice of South Georgia has been a part of the health community in Wayne and surrounding counties since 1998. The professional yet compassionate attention provided by our staff is unsurpassed. Widely supported by donations from the local population, Hospice of South Georgia is the local nonprofit hospice in Wayne County. Our administrative office is located at 1625 Sunset Boulevard, and Hospice of South Georgia accepts anyone who meets hospice criteria, regardless of their ability to pay. Please call 912-588-0080 to speak with someone about hospice care. That was 912-588-0080. We are your hometown hospice, and we are here to serve you. Hospice of South Georgia, working to add life to your days.
105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO. We continue on with the world-famous Butch and Bob show here on WIFO. Things pretty routine last night, the Jesup City Council meeting?
It's just interesting. It looks like the mayor and the commissioners were caught off guard. Didn't realize that the retarees hadn't gotten anything in 20 years.
Yeah,
so,
I guess it's not something you really keep up. That would be something that more of a person who handles the books or the city manager or something like that would know more about that. But I guess it's just something that's you just don't think about.
They only got a one-time payment back in 2003. Hadn't gotten anything since then. So, like I said, they look at it during their budget session, and when they give a cost of living raise to their regular employees, they just want to make sure that your retirees get something as well.
All right.
So, but that was the most interesting thing that I took from the meeting last night. And like I said, Debbie Green did a good job of coming and presenting it to the commissioners last night. But
well, sometimes all you got to do, Bob, is shine a light on a subject, and sometimes things will get done because it's been in the dark and people didn't really think about it.
Nobody's thought about it.
Yeah, well,
Nobody,
it's a good thing that she came forward then.
Right.
Okay. But everything else was just fine? No problems?
It's interesting that the pool project hasn't begun yet. I don't know what the hiccup is with the health department. They didn't say, but they've already wrote a check to the contractor. So,
well, if they're going to put that splash pad in there, that might be one thing on there. I've seen some articles on some towns having situations with splash pads because of the the pools you put the chemicals in and so forth. I don't know what they do with the splash pad. I'm not sure if that's it or not, Bob. I have no idea what the health department is, but I know this in some communities have had some situations with the splash pads and so forth. But when you're putting something where the public goes into, the health department's going to be there to make sure they're going to be safe. So that's just the way it is, whether you're building a pool or building a house or business or whatever, you've got inspectors in there to make sure that everybody follows the guidelines and the laws and the ordinances and things of that sort. All right, so the pool is So is the pool, we've had these comments from these city commissioners that have come in that they're running either for re-election or they're running for their very first time or whatever the case may be. Going to be three new, isn't it three new city commissioners? And that three?
I have at least three.
Three new city commissioners. And three new city commissioners coming in because the other ones are not running. And, you just didn't get that vibe from any of them that they're all just excited about the type of pool situations being built. But I guess they're committed to it right now. They're going to do it anyway, no matter what the new commissioners feel.
I mean, the project's supposed to be under construction already. So,
okay.
Mike Deal's the one that has all the knowledge, and he said that when it was first proposed, it was supposed to be built back like it was, you know.
Yeah, where you could have
have swim meets and
swim meets there, but you can't. No, this one.
Everybody mentions the Swampland Festival and things like that, but that's not what the. And for somehow it got changed. It's just going to be
money. Had a lot to do with that, Bob. It's always about the money. They didn't have the money to build.
It's $1 million.
Well, the other one was like $3 million or something more. You know, it was a lot more money to build a regulation pool for competition.
Don't get me started on them because, like I said, it drives me crazy. I heard Commissioner Harvey for the last 3 years say, you know, we need to have that meet between the city, county, and school system and discuss the pool. I guess how many years they have? Zero. And that's my point. The person that has the vested interest in the pool is the high school. They've got a swim team that has to travel all the way over. They've got land. They've got money. So that
same thing with recreation. That would have been the piranhas. They're the ones with the swim.
It would have been a nice thing to sit down and discuss it. But like
between all three and share the.
It's not a matter of who builds it. The question is who upkeeps it once it's built. Because you talk to Douglas, it's $250,000 to keep the pool up every year. So, but that's
both. You work out.
But the sad thing is, there's never been a discussion. There's never been a town hall meeting to discuss the pool. So. We may end up with a pool for just total recreation in the city. Is what Bill's been trying to promote there. The county's got the proposal.
The county will have one for competition.
Well, the county's got the proposal for the community center with the cost, so we'll see if that comes to fruition or not.
So you may have two: one for recreation, one for competition. Yeah.
You can only hope.
We'll see.
The pool was needed.
We'll see.
But it's just sad that those three entities never got together and discuss it.
At least not in public.
Not in public.
No one knows what goes on behind closed doors.
Yeah, especially this stupid executive session. They come out and say no action taken.
Did the executive session happen in the middle of the meeting again?
Yeah, again.
Again in the middle of the meeting?
Yeah, the mayor's trying to justify. There's no justification for it. You don't have it in the middle of the meeting. It's absurd. It's just stupid. I mean, you don't let your constituents sit out there for 30, 40 minutes while you're back there twiddling your thumbs. I mean, it's just dumb. You put it at the end of the meeting. You do the item with the commissioners, item with the mayor, item with the commissioners, and then you go to executive session.
And then if people want to find out what happened...
Exactly. If people want to stay, they can stay. Right.
Not,
it's just, I just don't get it. It's just stupidity. As my grandfather said, you can't fix stupid, I guess. And apparently it just continues to be stupid. But they haven't been in the middle of the meeting. It's
Bob
stupid.
Morgan's opinion. It's not necessarily the management or staff or advertisers.
That's my editorial comment today.
It's
just stupidity. Can't fix stupid. Like I say, Johnny and I had no choice. We got to sit there. But to have your constituents sit there while you're back there at closed doors for 45 minutes makes no sense. It's never happened. I've been covering meetings for 40-some years. It's never taken place. Why they changed it, I have no idea. But it makes absolutely no sense to have your constituents, your people who are going to vote for you, sit there for 45 minutes.
Well, you know, Bob, they can't change it now because you want it to be changed.
I guess.
We can't change it because we don't act like we're doing what Bob wanted.
I just don't understand. I mean, to me, it's just stupidity. Like I said, the mayor tried to justify and say, well, we got to come back and people have to come. No, I mean, nobody cares. If you go into executive session and you're going to, and how many times?
I would say that probably at least 90 or 95% of the time when boards come back with executive session, nothing's been happening.
There's been 10,000 executive sessions and 9,990 times they come back and say no action taken.
No action taken. At least 95% of the time, no action taken. So these people have been sitting there for 30, 45 minutes to an hour.
It's just stupid. Absolutely.
But if they are interested in it, they can wait around. If not, then you got all the business of the taken care of, and people can go home and not waiting for their particular subject to come up. All right, Bob.
I just don't understand it.
Well, maybe if you act like you were for it, then they would change it. So the opposite of what Bob Morgan liked to say, son.
I'm just being honest.
I know you are, Bob. We got to kid around sometime. This is not only informative, but got to be entertaining sometime. All right. Well, got that done there. Somebody else met yesterday, didn't they? Did you have a morning meeting or something?
They had that public hearing on the
wastewater.
Wastewater, the improvement on the
yeah. Well, I'm sure they had a big crowd for that.
Me and Johnny.
The two reporters were there.
And I asked Bill Schuman, we promoted, he sent us that press release, if you had comments, email with Bill Schuman. So I definitely asked Bill Schuman, I said, did you get any public comments? zero.
Yeah.
But people, it's like I said, it's over my head.
Yeah.
It's a $10 million, but it's a $10 million. The good news is it's a $10 million project.
They're just doing what the law requires. It's having public meetings, which is good.
The majority of the monies came from a grant. That
grants.
American Rescue Plan Act. So they've got $10 million grant money. I think the city's portion right now is $1.6 million. But it's really for this industrial park out here and expansion of
on Highway 84 out here. Yeah.
Also for the expansion of EAM and Healthy Pets. So they just got all that river water flow. And it's, like I said, over my head.
Okay. All right.
But they explained it pretty well yesterday at the public meeting.
Okay.
But they had to have a public meeting because it's required by law.
Required by law to have the public meetings in case people, which is good. People should have the opportunity to speak on something if they'd like.
But no one from the public.
But no one wanted to speak on it. So I guess they trust their officials to do the correct thing.
That's a good, it's nice to get that kind of money. It's nice to get that grant money.
Yes, it is.
$10 million is a lot of money.
Yeah. Is that state or feds?
It's a federal grant.
Okay. All right.
American Rescue Plan Act.
American Rescue. Okay. Got to rescue America.
Rescue that water flow.
Yeah. You got to do that, Bob. What else is going on, Bob? Anything?
I was like Stanley Todd. The city spent all that money on that streetscape project. And, they're down there tearing it up.
Tearing it all up there, First and Cherry Street, putting those pipes in.
So hopefully they'll put it back.
Is it pipes? It's DOT there, so it's not pipes. What is it?
It's DOT.
DOT's doing what now?
Let me see. I've got it.
I mean, the road's already 4-lane. It's already got the sidewalks.
I know. I've got it in my newscast.
Okay. Well, what exactly are they doing there? That's the Department of Transportation. That's road work there. So, wonder what they. I mean, everybody sees it's been done. I just didn't know what was being done. I didn't know if they were, getting them.
They're installing new storm drains.
New storm drains. Okay.
At all four corners. That's what they're doing.
All right.
DOT's installing those storm drains. So
okay.
They tear up that part of the street. But
that's what they got to put it back.
It was kind of depressing if you're a city commissioner and you spend all that money on that nice streetscape project and all of a sudden it's just being so
gotta put it back like you got it, boys.
They're just and Stanley Todd is convinced that DOT will do just that. So hopefully, but that's what's taking place. Okay. Everybody thought something was being built on that corner. That was the big.
Yeah, that was the big thing. Was something going to be built? No, it's just got to get that water flow. When the storms come, you don't want it backing up in the roads.
Halloween's coming. That Poplar's also has that pumpkin. They always put the pumpkins there. So I'm sure they're still doing that this year.
Oh, I'm positive. What do you think? All right. Anything else?
Homecoming tomorrow.
Homecoming. That's right. Homecoming parade at what time tomorrow?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
If you're in the parade, they ask you to be in. They have to line it up around 4:15. They ask you to be there 4:15.
They still line up on Bay Street?
I believe so.
Okay.
But the parade gets underway at 5 o'clock tomorrow. So looking forward to the parade.
All right, Bob. You have a good day. All right, the world-famous Butch and Bob Show here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup is brought to you by Murphy Builder Supply, O'Quinn and Associates, Connection Coffee and Creamery, and by also brought to you by First Southern Bank, and also brought to you by Van's Barbecue. Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup. We got some giveaways coming your way soon, so keep tuned in for your chance to win. And then at 9 o'clock will be the Big Dog Country Bargain Blitz, your chance to purchase some items from area businesses at bargain basement prices. All coming up soon right here on 105.5 FM, Big Dog Country, WIFO.